Today on Northern Revolutions, it's a show and tell kind of day. I'm going to show you what Discogs tells me are my most valuable records. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. Today, we're going to do a little show and tell. So the other day, I was updating my collection in Discogs. And every once in a while, I export the list as an Excel file, and then I've got a list on my computer of my entire collection that I can sort and do whatever I want with. And I did notice that you're able to sort it by value. So I did, just for interest's sake. Let me be clear. I collect records because I love records and I love music. I don't collect them for the investment value. I don't collect them hoping that they're going to be worth a lot of money. I'm never selling my record collection. My hope is that someday I'll pass them along to my son, like I got some of my dad's records, and then he can do whatever he wants with them. I don't collect them for monetary value. But it was just more of a curiosity exercise. Let's see what I've got that are worth something. I knew what the most expensive record was going to be. And for any of you that have seen some of my other videos, I wonder if you can guess what it might be. So what I did is I ran that list to see what I have that's worth something. And I'm going to show you the top findings. Now, a couple things. I use two metrics to determine what the most value is. First of all, I use the median value in the Discogs sales history. So for anyone not familiar, Discogs is a website that has essentially an encyclopedic reference of basically every record ever made, essentially. And you can catalog your collection in there. I might do a Discogs video someday because I find that, when you've got 600 records, it's a pretty useful tool. There's also a marketplace in Discogs where you can buy and sell records. And what Discogs will do is it will show you the sales history on a particular record over a period of time, what it's sold for. So I use the median value that records have sold for in the past on Discogs. And the other thing that I did is I took a look at all the current asking prices that are for items of that album that are for sale right now and averaged that average asking price. And I used those two metrics to sort of rank my records in terms of value. So the other thing that I did as well is I have the complete Beatles mono remasters. I have them individual. I didn't buy them as a box set. I bought them all one at a time. Those are all worth a lot of money, and 3 or 4 of those fall into my top 10. I didn't include this or else this would be a pretty boring list. So I took the Beatles mono remasters out of the equation, and this is my most valuable records. So before I get into that, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, please give me a subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget that bell notification icon. So the first record, I think I have a dozen on here. So we'll call it the least valuable of the valuable records that I've got. It's one I'm pretty proud of. It's a pretty scarce one. This is a South African first pressing of Rodriguez' Cold Fact. Probably half of the people that see this video know the story of Rodriguez. For those that don't, I'll give you the really quick Reader's Digest version. Rodriguez was a folk singer-songwriter in the 70s in Detroit. He recorded an album, Cold Fact, was released, it flopped. Released a second album, it flopped as well. And he carried on his life thinking that his musical career would go unfulfilled. Carried on his life as a construction worker. Somehow, a copy of this record made it to South Africa during apartheid, and it resonated with the folks there, and it became a cultural phenomenon. And as I remember correctly, he outsold Elvis and the Beatles in South Africa. But no one in South Africa knew who Rodriguez was. The urban legend was that he took his own life on stage. No one knew anything about him. Fast forward to, I believe it was the early 90s, 20 years after this was recorded, that some intrepid investigators actually tracked down Rodriguez, found that he was still alive and well in Detroit. All of this is in the movie Searching for Sugar Man. It's a fantastic documentary. Go see it. He now tours all over. He's very successful. Just an amazing, amazing record. So it's been reissued, obviously, on the success of the Searching for Sugar Man film. This is what it originally looked like in the rest of the world. This is the modern reissue. Find these anywhere. But in South Africa, it looked a little different. So this is my South African first pressing. I treasure this. I don't care what it's worth. This is one of my absolute most valuable records. According to Discogs, the median value is about $100, and the current asking price, the median asking price right now is about $340. But again, I don't really care. It was a fun exercise. So anyway, Rodriguez, cold fact. The next record on my list is a band I've mentioned before, one of my favorite bands of all time. They're no longer around anymore. I'm going to do a video on this band, one of my You Gotta Hear This videos, because I think this band is absolutely incredible. Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. Awesome blues rock band from Vermont. Grace Potter's still around solo, but she's not with the Nocturnals anymore. And the magic is gone as far as I'm concerned. A lot of fans would agree. Anyway, this was their self-titled release on Hollywood Records, which came out in, when did this come out? 2010. I saw them on this tour, and they were amazing. I've met Grace. She's wonderful. This record I bought when it came out from her website. Thank goodness I did, because the historical median average on Discogs is about $160. Current asking price, it's over $350. Good luck trying to find one of these and not pay a fortune. I have 2 of them. I'm so thankful that I do. It's an amazing record. Number 10 on my list is a classic. Nothing rare about this. It's just worth a lot. Music from Big Pink by the band. What makes this expensive is this is the Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs version. I bought all of the band records that were issued on Mobile Fidelity. Sound quality's good. Is it a better mix than the original? I don't know. I've mentioned before, I'm not an audiophile, so can I tell the difference? I don't know. But at the time, I just liked the high quality nature of these, so I bought them. And I bought them, at a very reasonable price. Now, median historical selling price on this is about $170, and the median asking price now is over $250, which is insane. But fantastic album. Not my favorite album by the band, but a fantastic album nonetheless. Number 9, band I love, talked about it before, Oasis. I love Oasis. Oasis is one of the bands that when I was getting into music as a teenager in the 90s, really it informed my musical tastes. This is their 3rd album, Be Here Now. This is an original 1997 UK pressing. All of the original Oasis albums are crazy expensive. I don't have a What's the Story Morning Glory. I have reissues. And I don't have a Definitely Maybe. I wish I did. But I do have this. This is an original 97 pressing. I did not buy this in 1997. I actually bought this maybe 10 years ago on eBay from someone who I don't know that they knew what they had, and this hadn't quite exploded in value like it has now. But the historical selling price on this median is 175 bucks. 275 is the median asking price at this point in time. Crazy. Great record though. Number 8, another album by Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. This is The Lion, the Beast, the Beat. This was their last album as Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. After this, she went solo and released an album, Midnight, which actually all the Nocturnals play on, but I'm not going to get into what transpired in that. When I do a Nocturnals video, I will. This was their last album. This came out in 2012. This was produced by Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys. It's a good record. I don't know that it's their best. Now, the title track, The Lion, the Beast, the Beat, is absolutely anthemic. It is, wow, amazing. It's a very, very enjoyable record. I think I like the self-titled record better, but this is amazing. Again, I bought this from her web store. I pre-ordered it before it came out, so I only paid 35 bucks or whatever it was. Nowadays, the median historical selling price on Discogs is 188 bucks. The current median asking price for the listings that are there is over $275, which is insane. So I'm glad I have a copy of this. Number 7 is a record I've shown before, but I have to show it because it's in my top 12. I'm leaving this in the plastic wrap because the plastic sleeve is a pain in the ass to get it in and out. This is a mono Canadian first pressing of the Let It Be box set. So I've talked about this in my Let It Be video. In Canada, we had the box set just like the UK did. Inside of this, there's the album. There's a tray that slides in as well that has a book in it. The book in this particular copy is in basically brand new condition, which is great because most of them are falling apart when you find them. This right now, the historical median selling price on Discogs is $200, and the current median asking price now is over $280. So crazy. But as a Beatles fan, I have to have this. And I was lucky to get this probably 10 years ago. I paid about a third of what it's worth now. Paid a lot for it, but I paid just over $100 for it, I think. So I was happy with that. Number 6, I showed this in my most recent video, which was my Aerosmith top 10s, but I have to show it again, obviously. Aerosmith's Honkin' on Bobo. This was their album from 2004. This is their second to last album. It's their album of blues covers. I love it. Most people hate it. Very, very limited pressing. I've only ever seen it for sale once on eBay, and I bought it at a really good price, thankfully. Median average selling price on Discogs is $205, and the current average of asking prices on Discogs is over $370, which is nuts. So I'm thankful to have this copy of Honkin' on Bobo. In that very same vein, I showed this yesterday too. This is Aerosmith's Just Push Play. This was their album before Honkin' on Bobo. This came out in 2001. This is the album that has Jaded on it. I like this record. Most Aerosmith fans hate it. Again, extremely limited pressing, because in 2001, there were not a lot of records being pressed. This was another great find off eBay. I got this maybe 15 years ago. Maybe. I think I might have paid $50 for it. Nowadays, 207 is the median historical selling price on Discogs, and the median asking price as of today is over $420. Number 4, one of my favorite brands that I've talked about before, but I've never shown this record. Blue Rodeo's Are You Ready? This came out in 2005. This album, to the best of my knowledge, was never commercially available on vinyl. It was sort of a promo only kind of deal. I think you could buy it at concerts, but I don't think it was ever sold in stores. This has a historical selling price on Discogs of $211. There currently are no copies for sale because they're that hard to find. A couple of the copies that have sold in the past on Discogs are autographed by the band. This one is not. However, I do have an autographed copy up on my wall. I'll drop a picture of it in here so you can believe me, or you can watch my room tour video because it's in that as well. I'm thankful to have 2 of these. Okay, we're down to the final 3, and there's going to be a bit of a trend with this 3. So here we go. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. This is the Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs pressing. This is the only Beatles Mobile Fidelity pressing I have, and this is in absolutely mint condition. I have a slew of Sgt. Pepper's, but I saw this at the right price, knowing that any of the Beatles Mobile Fidelity ones are kind of hard to come by. I just grabbed it because it's the Beatles and I have everything. So historically, this is sold on Discogs for $250, and the current asking price average is $450. Number 2, the Beatles' Let It Be Naked. I showed this in my Let It Be video. I love this record. I bought this on the day that it came out at HMV. I paid $40 or whatever it was. So glad that I did. I've only ever seen one other copy for sale in the wild. Seen a few online. Discogs, the historical average on this is $259, and the current asking price for those listings that are up there right now is $365. Crazy. Let It Be Naked. Brings me to number 1. Any of you who've watched some of my other videos can probably guess what this is. Anyone that knows me will probably be able to guess what this is. And you might be able to guess because I said there's a trend with the last 3. I've shown this before in one other video. I'm going to show it again. My Holy Grail. It's my Beatles butcher cover. This is a third state mono butcher cover. It's in rough shape. But that's okay. When I started collecting records in the early 90s, and I being such a Beatles freak, this was always the one that I wanted to get. And it took me 20 years to find one. The historical median average selling price on this is $488. The current median asking price is over $1,300. I should mention these dollars that I'm using are in Canadian dollars because that's where I am and that's what Discogs uses for me. So our dollar's worth about 60 cents American. So there you go. Anyway, no way this copy would fetch $1,300 because it's pretty rough and it's not a great peel. I mean, there's still some stuff here and there's a little bit of damage, but I don't care about any of that. And I don't even care that it's worth anything. To me, this was my holy grail. I wanted to get this my entire record collecting life. So, like I said, I got this about maybe 12 or 13 years ago, probably. and it's my holy grail. So there you go, folks. That is my most expensive records as dictated by Discogs. Again, I'll reiterate, I don't collect records so that they accumulate value. I don't collect them to sell them someday, because I'm never going to sell them. I don't care necessarily that they're worth a lot of money. I treat all my records, whether they're worth $5 or $500, with the same care. I just thought it was an interesting exercise. I'd never sorted my collection like that on Discogs before, and I was sort of surprised what I came up with. So anyway, that's my most expensive records. I hope you enjoyed that. Come back again soon. That's all for me today. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.